These are actually, you can notice, two different little chrome and a black ring on this. We kind of need to get some feedback what people like best. Do you want a chrome or a black ring on the stop, on the home position? And then for the elevation one, they're going to make us individuals like this. They won't have this little knob on here. We put that on there for you guys so you can get above this ridge and get onto the two pedals at once. So the other one will just be a single left and right. You can have two like that, or you can have one hand switch and one foot switch, or two of each. This is nice because you can program 4 memory positions. User 1, set 1, user 1, set 2, user 2, set 1, user 2, set 2. So somewhere in between, you like to do your cervicals, supine, set the table to that height, and someone like normal height, like Mike comes along, he does supine cervicals a little higher. You know what I mean? So that's about all I can think of, Peter.
So when are they available?
We're going to try and have this thing, we have some pre-orders. We're going to try and have them out by the end of the year. We've still got some stuff to do on the UL end of things. And
Does
the
it
goal
come
right
with
now,
this as well?
this is actually a box.
Oh,
And this
it's
is
your box then,
this is
okay.
the box that we traveled in with. There's a lid over there, so we can move it around. It's got wheels and so on, so we can you know, move it from place to place. It's about a 250-pound table, so you know it's not easy to move. We don't want to wreck our back, so we have to just have a display case for that. The table right now, the original price, I think on your website, is $79.95. We've actually had, and that was with the, if they did the pre-order, of $2,000 down. We can no longer do that. As I told you, some of the costs, since we went from a relay logic to a programmable logic control, it's now skyrocketing, and we needed that for the home. There was no way we could, but once we started testing this table a year ago, we figured out not everybody's going to be able to bring it home every time we get out there in space, especially if you change the you know, the speeds on the fly. It makes it really hard. So we went to a different base. It brought some of the costs away from electronics, and I think, you know, I think it's been to our benefit to do it, you know, to make it right and get it to the way that this table will really be functional. Because relay logic is one off, one on, and there's really no, you know, a programmable element to it. So the cost has gone up. The table is going to be $99.95, and that's without these auto features. If you buy it without, there'll be little black buttons. If you want to come up later and look, there's a little black plug that matches the paint, and yours will all be plugged if you don't order it with that. That panel comes off. There's a port that goes into a wire into a box. If you order it, it's almost that simple. A Geeks and Knocking guy could plug it all in, and you could retro it in the field. I wouldn't have you do it yourself because there's electronics and there'd be liability. So we'd be able to do that for you later. You'd have to have someone pull the plugs, install the switches, hook the wires, run the plug to the box. It's not much more difficult. But it's a $1,500 option to get those 6 positions. So you'd have to think about that if it's something that you want to do. So that's on top of the $99.95. However, what we are doing is we're offering for people that are interested in this table, and of course, like I said, we want to get down the road with this, and a lot of it's money, as you know, in this economic time. We've got some pre-orders, and for those we're thankful. Some of us have, are here actually have done pre-orders and trusted us to get this thing to the market, and we're going to do it, of course. The way that we can do that right now is to offer you guys a $1,000 discount if you order by the end of the month. We give you that long. If you do the pre-order, we can't do that anymore. We can't do the $2,000 down. So we need half down of the $89.95, and then that'll help us get the table to the market that much faster. So.
What about the ADA discount?
Oh, thanks for mentioning that. Yeah. So the $89.95 is actually half of that because the table is an elevation table. It qualifies for the American Disabilities Act, which is some of you are already aware of. With elevation tables, the government's attempt to help us with some of these things that we need to put into our practices to allow wheelchair accessible patients access to our equipment in our clinic. So this will allow you to get half that money back. I explained that to you at the break, sort of. At the end of the year, it's a $10,000 annual allowance, and of that $10,000, they'll give you back up to $5,000 of it. So if you didn't make any money in your first year because you went out and bought this table, and you probably should, just kidding. And then at the end of the year, you found out you didn't make enough money and you had to get a tax return, you'd be getting $5,000 back on the table. If you made so much money that you had to pay $5,000, then that's a wash. You don't pay the $5,000 because this table has got you that $5,000 credit. So it's
Can I finance it?
We've got a couple companies that finance stuff for us right now. You can get your own finance company. I'm insured as a chiropractor through NCMIC. They've been a really good insurance company. You all may have your own. There's other ones out there, OUM and so on. They all have got financing now. So if you need someone to finance, we won't do it in-house, but we take all major credit cards. And then, of course, we can direct you to a finance company if you don't have one of your own. So we can do that as well. I'm missing something.